Hi, my name is Laurie, and I struggle with bipolar disorder type 2 and borderline personality disorder. So, what do you do when you have a decision to make and there are no good answers? No matter what choice you make, there are going to be consequences and it's going to hurt. And I just went through something like that recently. And so I talked to my therapist and I thought, well, she gave some good answers. And I thought, well, it might help someone else. So it's the holidays. Thanksgiving is actually tomorrow. And in a state of hypomania, feeling good, feeling happy, feeling invincible, I overcommitted. So I have plans Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Well, after a couple of days, I kind of crashed and I woke up and I was feeling depressed and sad and I was feeling overwhelmed and tired and lethargic and easily agitated and just wanted to be by myself. And I realized, when I made these commitments, I forgot that I usually have a rule that if I make plans, I always make sure that then the next day that I'm free, just in case I need to be at home, just in case I had to push through, then that gives me a time of rest and relaxation and a time by myself to kind of regroup. Well, this time I ended up with things to do 3 days in a row. And I realized okay, if I wake up and I'm feeling good, well, then that's great. That works out. But what if I'm having a day like today, which was technically the other day? What if I'm having a day like today? What if I really don't feel good? What if I really feel like I don't need to be around other people? How am I going to make this choice? I've already committed. I've already said, hey, I'm going to bring this or bring that. These people are expecting me. They're counting on me as one of their guests. How am I going to get out of this without somebody getting mad, somebody getting their feelings hurt, people talking bad about me, not showing up to the party? And what if they decide to reject me and decide hey, I'm mad at you and I don't want anything to do with you again? Because, there are people like that out there. And so I thought, oh my gosh, what do I do? So I talked to my therapist. And she said, Laurie, it's like this. She said, there are some times in life where we have to make a decision and there is no good choice. No matter what you do, it's going to hurt. There is no good option. And she said, but you have to make a choice and you have to decide which is the lesser of the two evils. And she said, let me give you an example. She said, if I said to you, I have to break a finger on your left hand, or I have to break a toe on your right foot. This is something that has to be done, and you have to make the choice. Which one do you want me to do? And I was like, neither. And she's like, yeah, but that's not an option. Your options are I break a finger on your left hand or I break a toe on your right foot. It's gonna hurt. But you get to choose which hurt or which pain you want to endure. And so I said, well, I don't know. I don't know how you make that decision. And she said, well, do it like this. Let's say you're a mailman, a right-handed mailman, and most of your job requires that you do a lot of walking. She said, well, as the mailman, you're probably going to choose that I break the finger on your left hand. And she said, because that's the lesser of the two evils. You can still walk, you can still do your job. Yes, you're in pain. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, I wish that that's not the way it was, but it just is. And she said, it's about accepting. It's about accepting and knowing that it's going to be painful whichever way I go, but I do have to make that choice and I have to accept that there could be negative consequences. So what I've decided to do then for Thanksgiving, because I have borderline personality disorder, because that is a disorder where I am afraid of, I fear rejection and I fear abandonment. Because of that, I realized if I cancel and I don't go, I'm going to be miserable. I am not going to be able to find any peace at all. I am going to be miserable. I'm going to worry about it all day. Are they mad at me? Are they talking about me? Are they going to stay mad at me? How are they feeling? And it's going to worry me to death. So for me, the lesser of the two evils is, regardless of how I feel, is to push myself and show up. But two things. Number one, if I don't feel good, I am going to let them know, like, hey, I appreciate you inviting me and I was excited to come, but I don't feel good today, so I'm not going to stay long. But I did want to come in and say hi and bring my food and have a meal with you, but I just won't be able to stay all day. Okay, so that's number one. I'm going to have an excuse ready and let them know and be honest and upfront. At that point, if somebody gets mad, well, that's on them. I can't be responsible for that. The second thing is I am going to come up with a better answer to have in place for the future. Like saying to someone, you know, I don't always feel good. I make plans. I have good intentions. I don't always feel good. I would love to come, but I just can't promise. Is there something I could bring that would be extra? You know, maybe not something that's needed for the dinner, like an extra dessert or something like that, where if something happened and I couldn't come, and that way you at least kind of give them a heads up of like, hey, I may not be able to make it. Now, if it was somebody who is going to be alone at Thanksgiving and you are the only person coming, well, then I just wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't even cancel. What I'm talking about are get-togethers where there's going to be a lot of people, and more than likely they're probably not really going to miss me anyway. So anyway, I just thought this was a good thing. You know, I went through this and I've had to talk to my therapist and I've had to kind of, you know, figure out what I'm going to do. And I thought maybe it could help someone else. So I just wanted to share that story. Thank you for watching. Bye.